With us in the studio, the Frank Anderson Studios, is Neville Britto, professor and now newly published author here at Delta College. And one of the interesting things about Neville's book is that it was published by, is it the college or the foundation?
Delta College Foundation.
Okay. So it's a kind of a full circle product. The name of the book is The Building Rainbows in My Life, and it's excellent reading. Neville, I want to thank you for coming in. My first question for you is, you're a man of the world. How did you wind up at Delta College?
I happened to be teaching in Saginaw, Michigan, on the east side.
Okay.
And I happened to run into Willie Thompson, and he needed adjunct teachers at the Potter Center, then Potter Center, and the First Ward Community Center to teach.
Okay.
And at the time, I was also teaching full-time at Bridgeport High School. So that's how I got my inroads into Delta as an English teacher, teaching at the centers. And I loved it so much that I made it a part of my hiring practice, that is where I do most of my teaching.
Your book is really a celebration, if you will, of diversity. How do you define diversity, and why is diversity important?
I define diversity as honoring differences and understanding them and accepting them, because as a world we're a patchwork quilt of different cultures. And I feel that till we get to understand people and cultures, we will have a difficult time moving in the world. I also feel that diversity brings people closer together. And as my idol Mahatma Gandhi said, it's possible for all people to live in peace. And having extensively read his philosophy of how people came together in India during the caste system. And then he was piggybacked by Martin Luther King in the push for freedom by using nonviolence. Diversity is always achieved through nonviolence rather than violence. It's better, as St. Francis de Sales often said, it's easier to catch a fly with a drop of honey than with a barrel of vinegar.
Another thing I know about you, of course, is that you are a member of the Saginaw Public Library Board.
Yes.
And I wanted to ask you, are libraries still relevant? Will libraries be relevant 5-10 years from now? And the reason I asked the question, when I go to Hoyt in Saginaw, if I want to get on the computer, I virtually have to stand in line. You sign up and you wait for your name to be called. But if I want to check out a book, there's no line. Just go get the book, sign it out, and you're done. Are libraries still relevant?
Libraries will always be relevant because the written word will always supersede the electronic word. For centuries, we've always, down the ages, literature has always been in the written word, and it has never been superseded by electronic word. All we have done is we've made it a piece of convenience for people who seem to be in a hurry and who do not have the time to page through pages and read a book. And as an English teacher, I still prefer to hold a book in my hand and read it page by page rather than use a Kindle or any other electronic source, because I feel closer and more intimate with my books.
But again, why is it that you can derive greater intimacy from the book as opposed to the Kindle?
Because the Kindle is a piece of electronic equipment that flashes a screen of writing to you, and all you're doing is you're reading it. In a book, you hold the pages of somebody who's written, and the intimacy of the author is transfused into you as you read, and your mind begins to follow the plot, and also you begin to create pictures in your mind that otherwise would be given to you in an electronic mode. And hence, It sometimes disables the reader rather than enables them.
Okay. Neville Britto, I really want to thank you for coming in and sharing that outlook and perspective with us, and sharing why diversity is so important. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.